So we'll start in a seat, something nice and comfortable. If you want to sit up on a pillow, of course you can. If not, no big deal. But wherever you are, just allow the top of your head to just rise up a little bit higher. And then maybe take a few rolls of the shoulders right away. Right away. Whatever way that feels good, maybe all directions. And once you take a few intentional rolls here of the shoulders, see if you can draw the shoulders up towards your ears. So you're almost creating a little bit more tension in the neck. And then take the heads of the shoulders back a bit to start to squeeze the shoulder blades a little bit further together. And then allow them to drop down. And then allow them to come forward just a bit. And then find this sort of like active neutral, we'll call it. So, neutral for you might be like your holding pattern might be like mine, where my shoulders just want to like naturally round forward because I live a lot of my life um, forward, whether it's on like on a computer or like you're crocheting or unfortunately on a phone or anything. Like our life exists right in front of us, our shoulders tend to follow. So finding active neutral, I want you to find a little bit of engagement in the upper back. So just a little bit between the shoulder blades to draw the heads of the shoulders back and then down away from the ears a little more actively. And then from there, drop your chin a little bit further down towards your chest. And feel the back of your neck lengthen a bit more. That might feel really nice to stay right here, get a little bit of a stretch. You might even just rock your head gently side to side. And so we all hold tension in different spots. If you find a spot that you're like, oh, that's it, maybe take a pause there. And in that pause, you take a breath in. And think about bringing ease into that space as you exhale. And then you might move the weight of the head to a different spot. You might notice another point of tension, pause, a breath in. Ease on your exhale. You can even close the eyes if that's helpful to just draw your awareness inward towards your physical body. Taking this opportunity to just find those little points that might feel a little stagnant or stuck. Feel free to move the head around. Take about 2 more rounds of breath. And then bring your chin back towards the center of your chest. Start to lift it up towards the sky like you were looking up towards the ceiling. Just to the point where you feel the front of the throat start to lengthen a bit more. And then come back to neutral like you were looking straight ahead. Now think about the back of your head being up against a wall, right? So you have this like invisible wall behind you. Now think about the back of your head just slightly drawing back towards that wall. So not tipping the chin up, but just taking the skull, taking the head a little bit straight back behind you. Like almost like someone was pushing on your chin, just straight ahead or straight behind you, rather. Just notice what that feels like, maybe using different muscles in the neck. And then release, come back to neutral. You can reach your arms out and up overhead. Big breath in to reach up. And then on your exhale, twist to the right. So your left hand can rest on your thigh, on your knee. Your right hand can come back behind you and just reach towards the ground or towards the space behind you. And then look over your left shoulder. So you're twisting your spine in different directions. Come back to neutral, look straight ahead, reach the hands up. And now you'll twist over to the left, right hand to your left knee. And then you can stay here, sit up tall first, and then look over your right shoulder. So another different way to stretch the muscles in the neck, the upper back, the low back. And then reach your hands all the way up. Start to interlace your fingers together. Make one big fist above your head here. Maybe even try to press the palms together if you can. Maybe even look up towards your hands. Take one more big breath in. Maybe even a little slight back bend in the upper back. And then look straight ahead. Bring that clasp of the hands right in front of your heart here. And then start to just create like an infinity symbol here. So you keep the hands clasped, but you start to roll out the wrists, right? You're creating this movement. I say an infinity symbol. Sometimes it's a little bit of a confusing cue, but just think about like if you were to trace that infinity symbol, but then make that movement just isolated in the wrists, less so in the arm. And then release that clasp. Take your legs out in front of you. Give them a little bit of a break here. So roll the ankles. Move the feet around, maybe wiggle the toes. And then you can even take your feet, you can hop off that pillow or stay lifted, it's your choice. Take your feet a little bit wider apart. And then flex your toes up towards the sky, right? And almost like back towards your torso a bit so you can feel the back of your legs lengthen. And then point your toes away. Feel the tops of your feet stretch. Do that one more time. Flex them up. Maybe even engage so much that you feel the heels lift up. And then point the toes. So nice. And then bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. And take a little bounce of the knees if that feels good. And then you can hold on to your ankles or your shins. Sit up nice and tall here as you inhale, maybe even lift the chin. And then as you exhale here, I'll turn to the side so you can see, start to draw your chin towards your chest. And then round through the upper back by almost leaning back, but keeping a hold of your ankles or your shins as that point of resistance. So you can get that stretch in between your shoulder blades. So you're rounding like cat pose, pulling away from your feet, getting that stretch in the upper back. And we'll do that again. So rock forward on an inhale, lift your chin, think about lifting your sternum, and then exhale to roll back a bit. Drop your chin to your chest. So nice. And then come back to neutral. Sit up nice and tall. And start to just bring your legs around behind you and come onto all fours. You won't be here too long. We're going to take that cat-cow like motion, but on your hands and your knees. So sometimes that allows for more mobility in your spine or more movement in the spine. So on your inhale, drop the belly and think about sending the chin slightly forward, lifting the tailbone. And then as you exhale, press down into your hands, round your upper back like you were pressing it up towards the ceiling. Maybe look in between your knees. Do that one more time. Inhale to find cow pose. Exhale to round into cat. And start to then send your right leg back behind you as you find a neutral spine. Right leg goes back behind you, but just tuck the toes onto the ground and press back through the right heel. So you find that stretch in the quad. And then you maybe start to move your heel left to right. So you can just move the leg in all directions here, both right and left. And then you'll turn your heel to the left. So you plant that foot down just enough to reach the right hand up. So you open up to the right side, reach the right hand forward. Getting that stretch down the right side of your body. If you want to play with a little bit of balance, you might even pick that right foot up and then find a few rolls of the right ankle here, both directions. Take one more big breath in and drop that foot down, drop the right hand down, return to tabletop. Start to walk your hands up your legs. We'll give your wrists a break. Make fists with your hands and then just take rolls both directions. Roll the wrists around. So nice. Now, on your next inhale, reach your arms out to the side like a T. Open the hands wide. So palms are facing forward. And then start to turn the thumbs down so the palms face back. And then bend at the elbows. I want you to start to bring one hand on top of the other into your low back. And we'll find a little bit more opening in the chest here. So think about the elbows drawing back, the shoulder heads drawing back. This might be enough of a stretch in the shoulders. You want to stay. You might even lift the chin up. Getting that opening in the chest. Take one more breath in. And then look straight ahead. Hands come back out wide like a T, palms forward. Bring the hands together in front of you. And reach them up overhead. Take one more big breath in. And then hands come down through your heart and they return to the ground, tabletop pose. Now you'll take that on the other side. Left leg goes back. And tucking the left toes under onto the ground, press back through the heel. Once you find that stretch in the calf, then you might want to rock that heel left to right. Maybe you bring your head and neck into the game. For some reason, my head, it just wants to like go side to side. Maybe yours does too, because you get that added stretch along the way. And then you'll eventually spin that left heel down towards the ground to reach your left hand up. And reach the left hand forward. And if you want to play with balance, you pick that left foot up off the ground. Doesn't have to be high, just enough to maybe roll the ankle in both directions. So nice. Take one more breath in. You'll drop the left foot down, left hand comes back down, tabletop pose. One last time to walk the hands up the legs and start to make fists with the hands. Actively roll out the wrists, both directions. If that creates a little bit more sensation rather than relief, you might even just open and close the hands like so. Almost like blinkers, like you were simulating like blinking lights here. Open and shut. Open and shut. Reach the hands out to the side like the letter T. Palms facing forward. And then the thumbs point down, palms back. Bend through the elbows, palm over palm on your low back. Elbows squeeze back, shoulders draw back, maybe lift the chin. Just a breath in here. And then look straight ahead, tabletop pose. Either lateral movement side to side, creating that C curve, or cat-cow, maybe both. Maybe you move in a circle, both directions. See if your shoulders can stay away from the ears rather than creeping up. Can you keep that space in the neck? And then just make your way back to a seat. Just swing your legs around in front of you for a moment. Just sit nice and easy. Rest your hands on your knees. Think of the top of your head rising up a little bit higher. Close your eyes. Take a full breath in. You might even open up your mouth, letting out a little sigh on your exhale. Two more like that. Breathe in. Audible exhale. Last one. Inhale. Finding ease from head to toe. Empty, empty. And if being in this seat feels grounding, like exactly what you need, I invite you, of course, to stay right here. If you'd like to lie down on your back, of course, you can do so. So make sure you have enough space behind you. If you want that pillow underneath your knees, just to let your low back lengthen as you find the ground, certainly an option. Your legs can be long, or if you'd like to bend your knees a bit and plant your feet, if that feels more supportive for your spine, for your pelvis, I invite you to take that as well. If you'd like one more opportunity to roll out the wrists and the ankles, maybe even rock the head side to side. Find that last bit of movement if you need it. And then allow your palms to flip up, just to maybe keep the collarbones spreading wide, or if it feels more grounding, place your hands somewhere on your torso. Close the eyes. Again, a big breath in. Find ease on your exhale. Again, breathing in. Some relief and softening. Maybe breathe out. You're choosing to keep the breath as your intentional mantra as you allow the body to find stillness. Or just relax a bit in your breathing. Allow your body from your toes through the legs, your hips, your belly, into your chest and your shoulders. Arms, wrists, even down to the tips of your fingers. Your upper back to your neck. to the jaw and the features of your face. And even the top of your head. Finding a sense of softening, sense of ease. And a sense of purpose and intention, even in stillness. Again, take a breath in, nice and slow. Ease on your exhale, nice and slow. Two more like that, breathing in and out. And fill up. Maybe even open the mouth. Start to find a little bit of movement in the fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Maybe rocking the head. And bending your knees and just rolling to the side of your choice and pressing yourself back up to a seat. And with ease here, just sit up nice and tall. Maybe even gathering your hands together in front of your heart. And taking a moment of pause for yourself. A full breath in to expand here. A breath out to soften. Maybe even bringing your thumb tips to the center of your forehead, lifting your chin a bit in your face.